God is a God of rewards, and there's no rewards where there are no options. You've got to have 2 trees in the garden. You've got to have 2 trees in the garden. To be rewarded for choosing the right tree, you have to have the option of another tree. A word spoken of our life for which we have no options cannot be rewarded because there's no will involved. We have asked for things from the Lord that He cannot randomly give them unless the character or the depth of devotion has been proven by us continuously choosing the right tree, if you will. We have asked to raise the dead. We have asked for every cancer case that we pray for to be healed. We've asked for these things from the Lord. You put in your blank, the blank, fill in the blanks. But the point is we've raised up to the Lord these impossible cries, and the moment you prayed it, He began to answer it. But He answered it by giving you the answer in seed form. In Luke 19, the disciples say, Jesus, they were thinking that it was at that time He was going to make His military move, if you will, and Israel was going to be brought out of the dominion of Rome and under His rulership as a king. And they were expecting this sudden military move from heaven to remove Israel out of the enemy's occupation. And in response to that, Jesus gave them a parable about minas, about money. And they stewarded the money, they made profit, and the master showed up and turned over cities to their care. Let's put it this way. A guy used $1,000, he invested his master's money, he made $10,000 profit. The master shows up and made him a governor over 10 cities. What were they looking for? They were looking for earthly dominion of God over cities. What did Jesus do? He took them into a parable where the dominion was given to them through the process of godly stewardship. In other words, they stewarded the money that was in their pocket, which gave them an audience to influence the heart and mindset of an entire city. God gives us things in seed form, but because we expect for God to give us an oak tree instead of an acorn, we have very little value for what has been given to us and end up aborting the miracle in its development stages. At one of our school sessions in our school of ministry, I felt prompted, as I was coming up to the class, I felt there was somebody there that had asked the Lord for $500 that morning. And so when I stood up, I said, is there anyone here that you asked God specifically for $500 this morning? A woman raised her hand. I said, come here. And I gave her $50. I said, this isn't 500, it's 50. I said, but there's 500 in the 50. In the same way that there's an oak tree in an acorn, there's 500 in the 50. I found out a couple weeks later, she went home. She went to the grocery store that evening. There was a family there that couldn't pay for all their groceries. She used her $50 to help those that were hungry to have some food on the table, thinking that she just lost her $50. And when she got home, somebody drove up and brought her $500.